The night was heavy with silence until I saw him, leaning against the gate like he owned the place, Zion, his hands in his pockets, his smirk shining under the stresh. Chade, my blood froze. So it's true. He's back. The door creaked behind me. Aisha slipped out, her shawl pulled tightly around her. I stepped forward. Where are you going? She flinched. Arham, why are you out here? Better question, I said, pointing at the gate. Why is he out here? Her face went pale. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think, I snapped. You were going to meet him? Zion chuckled, stepping closer. Relax, Arham. We're just talking. Talking. My voice shook with fury. You don't come to another man's house at night to talk to his wife. Aisha raised her hand. Please, keep your voice down. Someone might hear. Let them hear, I barked. Let the whole world hear what kind of wife I have. Eyes filled with tears. Don't humiliate me like this. Humiliate you? I stepped closer, trembling. You humiliated me the moment you opened that door for him. Zion smirked, folding his arms. Don't blame her, Arham. She was mine long before she was yours. My fists clenched. Say that again? Mine, he repeated slowly. Savoring the word, I lunged at him, but Aisha jumped between us. Stop it, both of you. Oof! Aisha, I roared. She shook her head desperately. No, this won't solve anything, I glared at her. Solve. The only solution is him staying away from you, forever, she whispered, almost to herself. I can't stay away. The world stopped. What did you just say? Her lips quivered, but her eyes didn't waver. I still want him. The words burned through me like fire. Even now? Even while you wear my name? Yes, she cried, tears streaming. I tried to kill it, Arham. I tried. I can't. My heart won't listen. Zion smirked, enjoying. Every crack in my voice, I turned on him. Do you feel like a man now? Destroying a marriage on its first breath? He shrugged. You can't destroy what never existed. She was never yours. My vision blurred red. I should break you right here. He stepped forward, close enough that I could smell his cologne. Do it. Then everyone will know how desperate you are. You'll be the husband who fought in the street for a woman who doesn't love him. I raised my fist, but Aisha screamed, Arham, stop! Please. I froze, my breath heavy. My hand shook in the air, inches from his smirking face. Zion leaned in, whispering like poison, you already lost. Then he turned and walked into the night, leaving his shadow crawling behind him. I stood there trembling, my chest burning. With rage I couldn't release. Aisha sobbed. I didn't mean for this, don't. I cut her off, my voice hoarse. Don't speak. She reached for me. Please, listen. I stepped back. You told me yourself. You want him. You still want him. What's left to say? Her tears shone under the weak light. I'm sorry, laughed bitterly, though my throat burned. Stop saying sorry. It's useless. Sorry doesn't erase. Betrayal, she whispered. I can't change my heart. Then don't, I said coldly. But don't expect me to chain mine to this graveyard of a marriage. Her hands trembled. What are you going to do? I stared at the gate where he had stood, smirking at my ruin. My voice was low, shaking, but certain. I don't know. Yet, but I do know one thing, this ends. One way or another, this ends. I walked past her into the house, every step heavier than the last. Behind me, her sobs echoed into the night. Inside, my self-respect screamed louder than my heartbreak. My marriage wasn't a promise anymore, it was a cage. Every cage has a breaking point. Armand leaned back in his chair at the cafe, eyes narrowed at me. You look like hell, Arham. What's going on? I forced a weak smile. Nothing. Just work. Don't lie to me, he shot back. You've got shadows under your eyes, and you haven't laughed in weeks. It's her, isn't it? I looked down at my untouched tea. It's complicated. He leaned closer. Complicated is when you argue about dinner. What you've got is poison. Tell me the truth, she's still hung up on Zion, isn't she? I froze, my jaw tightening. How do you know? I know because I saw her the other night. He said bluntly. She was standing too close to him near the market. I almost walked up, but I didn't want to make a scene. My hands clenched around the glass. So everyone can see it now. Armand sighed. Arham, she's not worth it. Stop killing yourself trying to hold on to someone who doesn't even want to stay. His words cut deep. You think I don't know that? But walking away, it feels like admitting I was a fool. You already know you were fooled, he said gently. The only question left is whether you'll let it destroy you too. I looked away, my throat burning. That night at home, my mother stopped me in the hallway. Arham, can I ask you something? I tried to smile. Of course, Amy. Eyes searched mine. Why do you look so tired all the time? Why is there no light in your face anymore? Did I make a mistake pushing you into this marriage? The lump in my throat nearly choked me. No, Amy, it's not you. It's just work pressure. She shook her head slowly. Don't lie to me. I know when my son is breaking inside. I swallowed hard. Please, don't ask. I can't answer. Her hand touched my cheek, soft and trembling. I see the sadness in your eyes every day. If she is the reason, then maybe she's not the one meant for you. I forced a smile I didn't feel. It'll get better, don't worry. But when I entered my room, Aisha was already lying on the bed, turned away from me. Good night, I said quietly. No response. I changed, lay down beside her and stared at the ceiling. The silence was suffocating, louder than any fight we'd had. It was like sharing a wall with a stranger who carried my name. The next morning, over breakfast, I tried again. We talk. She kept her eyes on her plate. About what? About us. There is no us, she said flatly. My chest tightened. You can't keep treating me like a ghost in my own house. She finally looked at me, her gaze cold. You're not a ghost, Aram. You're just someone I didn't choose. Duh. Words sliced through me. You even realize what that does to me? Every day I wonder if I was ever good enough, or if I was just the easiest option for your parents. You want me to lie? She snapped. You want me to tell you you're enough when I know my heart isn't here? I slammed my hand on the table. Enough, Aisha. I can't keep bleeding while you twist the knife. She flinched but didn't respond. She just got up and walked out, leaving her food untouched. I sat there, breathing hard, staring at the empty chair. Later that day at the office, I buried myself in files and numbers, pretending deadlines could drown the ache inside me. Colleagues joked, shared lunch, and laughed, but I couldn't join them. I hid behind my screen, typing furiously, as if hard work could stitch up the cracks in my world. When evening came, I dreaded going home, but I went anyway. The house was quiet again. Aisha sat on the balcony, scrolling on her phone, her face lit by the glow of the screen, not by me. I leaned on the doorway. Do you ever think about what this marriage is doing to me? She didn't look up. Do you ever think about what it's doing to me? I think about it every second. I whispered, and I asked myself, am I the fool who loved blindly, or the man who will finally reclaim his dignity? She glanced at me briefly, then returned to her phone. Maybe you should decide that soon. Her indifference hurt more than her anger ever did. I turned away, my voice low. Maybe I will. That night, as I lay beside her again in silence, I realized the truth. Love hadn't died between Eastby, because it had never lived at all. The house was silent, except for the faint hum of the ceiling fan. I walked down the hall to get a glass of water, but then I stopped. Aisha's voice drifted softly from the balcony. I froze. Yes, I miss you too, she whispered. If only things were different, I should have married you, Zion, not him. My chest tightened, heat flooding through me. Each word scorched me alive. I stepped closer, my voice low but shaking. Say that again? She spun around, her phone slipping from her hand. Arham, I pointed at the phone. Say it again? Say you should have married him, not me. Her lips trembled. You weren't supposed to hear that. Unfortunately, I did. My throat felt raw. So tell me, Aisha, was this marriage ever real to you? She took a shaky breath. I tried. I really did. But my heart, it's still with him. I laughed bitterly, though it felt more like choking. Your heart? Do you realize what you've done to mine? She looked away. I never wanted to hurt. You? I was forced into this marriage. Then why not say no? Why not stand up for yourself before ruining my life? Her eyes flashed. You think I had a choice? You think I wanted to be trapped here pretending? Pretending? My voice cracked. That's all I've been to you? Prop a mistake you regret every single day? She swallowed. Can't love you, Aram. I've tried, but I can't. The words pierced me deeper than any blade. So, you've been lying to me every night, every morning, with every silence between us? I didn't lie, she whispered. I just couldn't give you what you wanted. I stepped closer, my hands trembling. All I wanted was honesty, respect. A chance? Was that too much? Her eyes filled with tears, but her voice was firm. I love Zion, not you. My chest burned, my vision blurring. Do you know what those words do to me? They tear apart everything I believed in. They make me question if I was ever worthy. Of love, she whispered, almost pleading. You are worthy, just not for me. I laughed bitterly again. That's the cruelest kindness you could ever give. Silence stretched between us, heavy and suffocating. Finally, I said, tell me the truth. Isha, if he asked you right now, would you walk out with him? She hesitated only a second. Yes. That single word crushed me and freed me all at once. I nodded slowly. Then it's over. Whatever this was, ends tonight. Her eyes widened. What do you mean? I mean, I won't keep living in a cage built on your lies and my blind hope. I won't beg for scraps of affection you'll never give. Shook her head. Arham, wait, no. My voice was sharp now, steady. I've waited long enough. I stayed silent for my family's sake, for your reputation, for the illusion of peace. But tonight, the illusion shattered. She reached out, but I stepped back. Don't, I warned. Don't touch me if your heart belongs to someone else. Tears slid down her cheeks. I didn't want it to end like this. It ended. The moment you chose him over me in your heart, I said. Shh. Tonight just made it official, she whispered. So you'll leave? I nodded. Yes, I'll leave this sham before it consumes me completely. She turned away her shoulders. Shaking. Maybe one day you'll understand. I already do, I said quietly. I understand that love without loyalty is nothing. And I deserve better than nothing. I walked past her, past the shattered pieces of my heart, past the home that no longer felt like mine. In the silence of my room, I packed a small bag. My hands shook as I folded clothes, but my resolve didn't waver. A knock came at the door. Arham, please. Her voice cracked. Don't just walk away like this. I opened the door and looked at her one last time. You walked away long. Before tonight, Aisha, I'm just finally catching up. Her tears blurred her face, but I didn't falter. I slung the bag over my shoulder, my voice low but unbroken. Goodbye. And with that, I stepped out into the night. The air was cool against my burning chest. My world was collapsing, but inside the ruins something stirred self-respect, the faint flicker of freedom. Her betrayal had broken me, but my decision tonight would rebuild me. I whispered to myself, this is the end, and maybe the beginning. I sat in the lawyer's office, the pen heavy in my hand. My name scratched across the paper, sealing the decision my heart had already made. Divorce. The word still stung, but it also breathed like freedom. 2 days later, placed the envelope on the dining table in front of her. She looked at it then. At me? What's this? Open it, I said, my voice flat. Her fingers tore the seal. As her eyes scanned the pages, a cold laugh escaped her lips. So this is it? You're giving up already? I'm not giving up, I answered. Choosing myself? Her laugh grew sharper. You think by ending this you'll finally be happy? You'll never replace him, Aram. Not Zion. Not in my heart, not in my life. Her words should have gutted me, but instead, I felt strangely steady. I'm not trying to replace him, I said quietly. I'm walking away from both of you. She tilted her head, mocking. You think people will admire you for this? They'll say you couldn't even keep your wife? Let them talk, I replied. Their words don't chain me anymore. She slammed the papers down. Coward! You couldn't fight for me, so you ran. I met her glare without flinching. I fought every day. I fought against silence, against lies, against my own breaking heart. But some battles aren't meant to be won. They're meant to be left behind. For a moment, her face faltered, but then she sneered. Go then. Walk away. Just remember, we'll be alone. I picked up the papers, sliding them back to Ward. Her alone is better than being betrayed in my own home. Her voice softened, almost curious. And what will you do now? Start over? Pretend none of this happened? I shook my head. I won't pretend. I'll carry the scars. But scars. Remind me I survived. She looked away, silent this time. I stood, my chair scraping against the floor. Sign them, Aisha. Not for me, for yourself. For the freedom you keep chasing. Her hand hovered over the pen, but she didn't move. You really won't fight anymore? No, I said firmly. The fight ended when you told me your heart belonged elsewhere, whispered almost to herself. Maybe you were too good for me. I turned toward the door. Or maybe I just finally realized my worth. I left her sitting there, papers spread out like broken promises. Outside, the air felt lighter, as if the sky itself had lifted its weight from my shoulders. That evening, the whispers began. An uncle called. Aram, is it true you filed for divorce? Yes, I answered. But what will people say? He pressed. They'll say what they want, I replied, ending the call. A cousin texted. You couldn't make it work? I typed back. I chose my dignity over deception. My mother found me in the living room later. Her eyes were heavy with worry. Beta, the relatives are already talking. They blame you. I looked at her gently. Let them. Their blame can't hurt me more than betrayal. Already has. She touched my hand. You don't deserve this pain. For the first time in months, I said softly, I don't feel pain. I feel calm. She searched my face, then nodded. Maybe calm is better than broken. I leaned back, breathing deeply. The judgment of the world echoed outside, but inside me, silence spread. Not the silence of neglect, but the silence of peace. That night, I lay in bed alone, the other side empty. And for once it didn't ache. Her cruelty echoed in my memory. You'll never replace him, she was right. I wouldn't replace him. I would replace her with freedom. The courthouse lobby buzzed with whispers. Papers shuffled, heels clicked against the marble floor, but my mind was numb. I was waiting for my lawyer when a soft voice called my name. Arham. I turned. A woman stood there, confident yet gentle. Her eyes held none of the judgment I had grown used to. Yes, I asked cautiously. I'm Sarah, she said. We've met before briefly, at Aisha's college reunion. My brow furrowed. Aisha Sarah, her lips curved into a small smile. More like Aisha's rival, if we're being honest. I crossed my arms. Why are you here? She glanced toward the courtroom doors. I heard about the divorce. I wanted to talk. I stiffened. If you came to gloat, don't. Bother. I've heard enough laughter at my expense. Her voice was calm. I didn't come to gloat. I came because I know what you're going through. I studied her, suspicious. How could you possibly know? She took a step closer, because once Zion broke me too. The name slammed. Into me like a hammer? You and him? She nodded slowly. Years ago. He made me believe I was special, then tossed me aside the moment Aisha showed interest. She and I weren't just rivals in school. We were rivals in love too. Only difference is she never forgave me for being first. My chest tightened. You expect me to believe this? Believe what you want, she said softly. But Aisha has always measured herself against me. She hated that I had Zion before her. That's why she parades him in front of Yunashi. Wants to prove she won? I shook my head, anger rising. So I was just caught in their twisted game. Sarah's eyes softened. You were more than that. You were collateral damage in their pride war, and I'm sorry for it. I let out a bitter laugh. Sorry doesn't fix anything. My marriage is still in ruins. No, it doesn't fix it, she admitted. But maybe it helps to know the truth that none of this was about you being unworthy. It was about them being selfish. Her words hit harder than I expected. I stared at her. Why are you telling me this? What do you gain? She shrugged lightly. Nothing. Maybe peace. Because I see in your eyes the same loneliness I once felt. Silence stretched between us, the first time in weeks. Someone wasn't mocking me or judging me. They were simply seeing me. I finally asked, "So what happened to you after Zion?" Her smile was faint but real. I walked away. I built a life without him, and it was the best decision I ever made. I exhaled slowly. I wish it were that simple. It is, she said firmly. Pain makes it look complicated, but the truth is always simple. You deserve better. Her certainty unsettled me. You talk like you actually care. She met my eyes without hesitation. Because I do. Not as Aisha's rival, not as Zion's ex, someone who knows how it feels. To be betrayed and blamed for someone else's sins. Something inside me shifted. For months, I had been drowning in humiliation, but in her gaze, I felt understood. You don't even know me. Her voice was gentle. I know enough. I know you stayed loyal when she didn't. I know you fought for a marriage she never wanted. And I know that makes you stronger than you realize. I swallowed hard. No one said that to me before. Maybe they should have, she replied softly. The courtroom door opened. My lawyer called my name, reminding me where I was, what I was about to lose, and maybe what I was about to gain. I looked back at Sarah. Why now? Why show up today? She smiled faintly. Because sometimes people need someone in their corner, when the world is against them. Even if that someone is unexpected. I studied her face, searching for malice, but all I saw was honesty. Thank you, I said quietly. Her smile deepened, warm and genuine. You don't have to thank me. Just don't let them define you anymore. I nodded, my chest lighter than it had felt in months. Maybe for the first time, I won't. As I walked into the courtroom, Sarah's words echoed in my mind. You were never unworthy. They were selfish. And for the first time, I started to believe it. Months passed. The storm inside me had finally begun to calm. Work kept me busy. My business grew, and in the quiet moments, Sarah's voice often steadied me. One evening, Armin called. Arham, have you heard? Heard what? I asked, leaning back in my chair. Aisha. Zion left her. Vanished. No contact for weeks. I stayed silent, letting the words settle. Armand continued. People are saying he drained her, used her for money, then ran. A bitter laugh escaped me. So the man she chose finally chose himself. Armand's tone softened. Do you feel satisfied? I sighed. I don't know. Part of me does. Part of me just feels empty. The next day, my mother brought it up. Beta, your cousin told me Aisha's family is in shame. They say she ruined herself chasing Zion. I looked down at my tea. Her choices caught up with her. Amma, that's all. She studied me. If she calls you, she won't, I said. But that night my phone lit up. Her name flashed across the screen. I stared at it until it stopped ringing. The next morning, it rang again.
Oh.
Then again. Finally, Sarah noticed my silence at lunch. Keeps calling you? I slid the phone across the table. Aisha. Her brows rose. And you're not answering? No, why not? She asked carefully. Because nothing she says will change the past, I muttered. Sarah's gaze was steady. So what do you feel when you see her name? Hesitated, a strange mix. Pity and relief. Relief that I am no longer tied to her chaos. Sarah nodded slowly.
Yes.
That's not cruelty, Aram. That's closure. Later that week, Armand cornered me again. She's desperate, Aram. She told someone she regrets everything. I looked at him sharply. Regret doesn't undo betrayal. I know, he admitted. But don't you feel tempted to at least listen? No, I said firmly, because every word would be poison. I finally found PCE. Won't trade it back for pity. At work, Success followed me. Deals I once thought impossible now opened. Clients respected me. My team trusted me. Every achievement felt like a step out of the shadow she had cast. One night, sitting in my office, I told Sarah, I used to think my worth depended on her love. Now, I realize my worth was mine all along. She smiled gently. Exactly, and she sees it now too, but too late. I leaned back, exhaling. Do you think this is karma? Sarah tilted her head. Maybe, or maybe it's just the world balancing itself. Choices have consequences. She chose him, chose himself. And you chose freedom. Her words stayed with me. Another call came from Aisha that weekend. I watched the phone vibrate on the table. Armand texted right then. She's begging. To meet once? Just once. I typed back. No. My silence is my answer. When the phone finally went quiet, I felt lighter. In the mirror, I no longer saw the broken man from months ago. I saw someone scarred, yes, but stronger. Aisha's voice haunted me only in memory now. And in that memory, I found no longing, only truth. She had made her choice, and I had made mine. I was leaving my office late when I saw her standing near the gate. Aisha. Her face was pale, eyes swollen, clothes wrinkled. For a moment, time froze. She stepped forward. Arham, please. Don't walk away. I stopped, my voice cold. Are you here? Her lips trembled. Because I have nothing left. Zion betrayed me, accused me, then disappeared. I thought maybe I cut her off. Maybe what? That I'd open my arms after everything? Tears spilled down her cheeks. I stared at her, remembering every night I had. Bled silently while she whispered another man's name.
Us.
You should have realized that before you destroyed me. She shook her head desperately. I was foolish. But you were good to me. Better than I deserved. Please, Arham, give me one more chance. A bitter laugh escaped me. A chance? You had every chance. You crushed them one by one. Her voice cracked. I regret it every day. I can't eat. I can't sleep. My family turn their backs on me. You're all I have left. Her words twisted like knives, but I no longer bled. Do you know what it felt like, Aisha? To sit across from you, knowing your heart was with him? To hear you whisper his name when you thought I wasn't listening? She sobbed. I was stupid, Arham. I thought Zion was love. But it was you. It was always you. I stepped closer, my voice steady. No, if it had been me, you wouldn't be here begging. You'd have cherished me when you had me. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Don't, I said sharply. You lost the right to touch me the night you chose him. Her knees buckled and she sank to the ground. Please, I'll do anything. Just don't leave me like this. I looked down at her. Once the woman I dreamed of. Now a shadow of her. Pride. And yet my heart was calm. The man who loved you, I said quietly, died the night you chose him over me. Her sobbing stopped. She stared up at me, stunned, as if the words had stripped her bare. You don't mean that, she whispered. I mean every word, I replied. I buried that man with my pain. What stands before you now is someone who finally knows his worth. Her lips trembled. So this is it? You'll just walk away? Yes, I said firmly. Not because I hate you, but because I finally love myself more than your memory. She covered her face, breaking down completely. I turned toward the gate. The night air was cool, the city lights distant, but my chest felt lighter than it had in years. Behind me, her cries echoed. But they no longer chained me. I whispered to myself as I walked away, this is not loss. This is freedom. The morning sun poured through my window as I sipped coffee, staring at the papers on my desk. Divorce finalized. My old life gone. For the first time in years, the silence around me didn't feel like a prison. It felt like peace. I heard a knock at the door. When I opened it, Sarah stood there holding 2 cups of tea. Coffee again? She teased, stepping inside. You'll burn holes in your stomach. I smiled faintly. Better than burning holes in my soul. She handed me the cup. Then let me help you fill both properly. Drink this. Sat, watching her settle across. From me, there was something grounding about her presence, steady, calm. Nothing like the storm I had survived. She studied me.
Nice.
You look lighter today. Maybe because I finally put an end to the chains, I replied. The papers are signed. It's over. Her expression softened. So how does freedom taste? I exhaled slowly. Strange. Like I've been carrying weight so long I forgot what air feels like. Sarah nodded. You deserve that air. You fought through fire for it. I chuckled. Funny, I thought love was supposed to heal, but with Aisha it became poison. Not all love is poison, Sarah said gently. Sometimes it's the wrong person holding the cup. Her words struck me. I tilted my head. And you? Have. You ever held the wrong cup? She gave a sad smile. I once thought Zion was mine too, but I learned faster than you did. Maybe because he showed me his true colors before I gave him everything. I looked at her with new eyes. So we were both fooled by the same man, just in different ways. Yes, she admitted. But pain doesn't have to define us. It can teach us. I sipped the tea, letting the warmth spread through me. What has it taught me, Sarah? Is that you're stronger than betrayal, she said firmly. That your worth was never in her hands. Her conviction shook something loose in me. For years I thought I wasn't enough, that if she strayed it meant I lacked something. But now I see it wasn't me. It was her choice. Sarah leaned forward. Exactly. Broken people break others. You loved honestly. She couldn't match. I swallowed hard. Do you think love is possible for me again? Her eyes held mine, unflinching. If you believe you still have a heart to give, then yes. But this time, you must choose someone who values it. A silence lingered between us, heavy, but not uncomfortable. For the first time, I didn't feel ashamed of my scars. I spoke softly. Do you know why I'm afraid? Because part of me still hears her voice telling me I'll never replace him, that I'll always be second best. Sarah reached across the table, her fingers brushing mine. You don't need to replace anyone, Arham. You only need to be yourself. That's more than enough. Her touch was steady, not demanding, not desperate, just real, I whispered. It feels different with you. No masks, no games. Because I'm not Aisha, she replied. And you're not the broken man who let her shatter him anymore. Her words sank deep as though she had seen the ashes and chosen to believe in what could rise. I leaned back. Reflecting, Aisha is already fading in my memory. It's not as the love I lost, but as the lesson I learned. Then let her fade, Sarah said softly. Some ghosts don't deserve to linger. I smiled faintly. Do you ever wonder why we had to go through them, Zian, Ayashabi, for finding this clarity? Maybe, she said thoughtfully, because we needed to be stripped of illusions to see truth. Pain sharpened our vision. I looked at her closely. And what do you see now? She held my gaze. A man who thought he was ruined but is finally reborn. The words stirred something deep inside me. Reborn, I repeated quietly, as though testing the weight of it. Yes, she whispered, free, stronger, and finally ready to live. Without chains. I closed my eyes for a moment, breathing in the freedom she spoke of. It wasn't revenge that soothed me. It wasn't her downfall or his betrayal. It was the knowledge that I had walked through hell and come out whole. I opened my eyes. Do you think love, after betrayal, is truly possible? Or do the cracks always remain? Sarah smiled gently. The cracks remain, but they let the light in. That's what makes love real. The second time it's not blind, it's chosen. Her words lingered like truth carved into stone. I whispered, then maybe I am ready. Ready for what? She asked softly. I looked at her, truly looked, and said, for love that doesn't feel like war. She didn't answer right away. She just smiled, her eyes glistening. That silence was enough. The room felt lighter, my chest unburdened. Aisha's shadow no longer haunted me. It was dissolving, fading into the background where it belonged. I stood, walking toward the window. The city stretched before me, alive with possibility. For years I had seen only walls, but now I saw paths. Sarah joined me. "What do you see?" "Tomorrow," I said simply, "and for once I'm not afraid of it." She touched my arm lightly, then "Step into it, Aram. Step into it with all the strength you earned." I turned to her, my voice steady. "Thank you, Sarah. Not for saving me, because I had to save myself, but for reminding me what it means to live." Her smile widened, "And thank you for letting me be part of your tomorrow." I looked out again, the sun dipping low, painting the sky with gold and crimson. "This is not the end of my story," I said quietly. "It's the beginning. Betrayal didn't define me. Freedom does. And love, if it comes, will find me as I am now. Whole." Sarah's hand slipped into mine, warm and unshaken, and for the first time in years I felt alive. The room smelled of roses and candles, but all I could feel was my heartbeat slamming inside my chest. I turned toward her, my new wife, and whispered, "Finally, Aisha, it's just us now." Her eyes flickered away from mine. "What's wrong?" I asked, reaching for her hand. She pulled it back, sharp, as if my touch burned. "Don't." My chest tightened. "Don't." "What?" "We're married. You're my wife." Her lips trembled, but her voice came out steady, cruel almost. "I shouldn't have married you." The word stabbed me. "What are you saying?" She looked right at me, her eyes wet but cold. "I don't love you, Arham. I never did. My here it still belongs to Zion." I froze, unable to breathe. "Zion, your first love." "Yes." She clenched her fists. I only agreed to this wedding because my parents forced me. They said you were a better choice, that Zion had no future." But in here she pressed her chest. "It's still him. It was always him." I felt my throat close. "And you chose to tell me this now? On our wedding night?" She turned away, tears sliding down her cheek. "When else?" "You deserved." "The truth." I laughed bitterly, though my voice cracked. "Truth? Oh, this isn't truth. This is cruelty. You should have told me before I vowed my life to you." I guess she bit her lips silent. "Say something." My voice shook. "Say this is a mistake. Say you're confused. Anything, but don't tell me you're married to me while longing for another man." Her silence was heavier than any scream. I paced across the room, my wedding sherwani suddenly suffocating. "Do you have any idea what you've done? Do you know what it means to stand there in front of God, in front of families, and promise your heart to me?" She snapped then, voice sharp. "I didn't promise my heart. I promised because they forced me. You think I wanted this?" The words hit like poison. "So I'm nothing but a prison to you." Her eyes softened for a moment. "You're not a bad man, but you're not him, and I can't pretend forever." I sat on the edge of the bed, head in my hands. "Do you realize what you're saying, Aisha? You're asking me to live knowing you dream of another man every night. Every night you're asking me to die inside, slowly, while you smile for others." Her voice lowered. "I thought maybe I could forget him if I tried. But I can't. Every moment I spent walking toward you at the wedding, I wished it was him waiting." I shot to my feet, rage bursting. "Stop. Don't say that to me. Don't you dare." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "I'm sorry. Sorry." My laughter was hollow. "Do you think sorry fixes this? Do you think sorry will stop my parents from asking why my wife avoids me? Do you think sorry will erase the shame of knowing I was just a replacement?" She whispered, broken. I can't lie to myself anymore. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to break the room apart. Instead, I grabbed her shoulders. Me in the eyes. "Are you telling me you will never love me? Not now? Not ever?" Her gaze didn't waver. "Never like I loved him." The final crack split inside me. My chest burned, my stomach twisted, and for the first time that night, I wished I could vanish. I let her go, stepping back. "Then why stand beside me? Why let me dream? Why let me touch you, even in thought?" She shook her head, sobbing. "I thought I could survive it, but I can't." The silence that followed felt endless. The candles flickered, mocking. "The darkness between us," I whispered, Do you have any idea how much I gave up for this? How much I believed in us? I defended you, I trusted you, and this is what you give me?" Her voice was barely audible. "I didn't ask for your trust." That line killed me more than the rest. I turned toward the window, gripping the curtains so tightly my knuckles whitened. Outside, the city lights glowed. People laughed somewhere far away, celebrating weddings and beginnings. My beginning had already ended. Behind me, her sobs filled the room. I muttered to myself, "I can't tell anyone, not Armin, not even my mother. How can I tell them the bride they praised tonight belongs to someone else?" She whispered again, "I'm sorry." I faced her one last time, my vision blurred with tears I refused to shed. "No, Aisha, don't apologize. You didn't just ruin this night, you ruined me." Her shoulders shook. "I didn't mean yes, you did," I cut in my voice. Sharp. "You meant every word. Now I'll remember them for the rest of my life." She collapsed onto the bed, sobbing into her hands. I stood frozen, a groom turned into a ghost. In my mind, I repeated her words. I still love him. I married you because I had to. The candles kept burning, but inside me, everything went dark. I walked to the door, gripping the handle. I didn't know where to go or how to breathe, but I knew one thing. Nothing between us would ever be real, without another word. I stepped out of the room, leaving behind the bride who was never mine. The morning after the wedding felt like waking up in someone else's skin. Sat at the breakfast table, staring at Aisha across from me. Her eyes stayed glued to her phone. I cleared my throat. "Who are you texting so early?" She didn't even look up. "No one important. No one." "Important keeps you smiling at the screen for 10 minutes, I muttered. Her eyes shot up, sharp. "So now, you're monitoring me? I'm your husband? I deserve to know what you're hiding?" "You deserve?" She scoffed. "Don't start acting like you own me." The words sliced deep. "I'm not owning you, Aisha. I'm asking for honesty. Or is that too much?" She slammed her spoon down. "Honesty? You want honesty again? I told you already, my heart isn't yours. What part of that don't you understand?" I clenched my fists beneath the table. "I understand too well. But if you're going to live in this house at least, respect me enough not to rub it in my face." Her laugh was bitter. "Respect goes both ways. Forcing me into this marriage wasn't respect." My voice shook. "I didn't force you. Don't put your family's decision on me." She leaned forward, her tone accusing. "You could have said no. You could have walked away. But no, you wanted the perfect bride, didn't you?" I felt heat rising in my chest. Perfect bride. I wanted you. But maybe that was the biggest mistake of my life. Her phone buzzed again. She snatched it quickly, turning the screen away from me. My gut twisted. "It's him, isn't it? Zion." Her silence was answer enough. I stood, slamming the chair back. "You still talk to him? Even now?" She glared at me. "You can't. Control who I talk to. You're not my master." My voice cracked with fury. "I'm not your master, Aisha. I'm your husband. Or does that word mean nothing to you?" She crossed her arms. "It means nothing when it's built on lies." Words hit like stones. I staggered back, breathing hard. "You think I'm the liar here?" "Yes." Her eyes blazed. "You lied by agreeing to this farce, knowing I wasn't willing." I shook my head. "I didn't know. I thought we had a chance." Her face softened for a fleeting second, then hardened again. "You were blind." I said yes. "With chains around my neck, Arham. Do you understand that? I never wanted this." The room spun, so every smile at the engagement, every word you said in front of our families, all fake, all forced, she snapped. I sank into the chair, again, burying my face in my hands. "Then why didn't you run? Why not fight them? Why not fight me?" Her voice cracked. "Because I was weak. Because I thought maybe I could endure it, but I can't." Silence stretched between us, broken only by the clatter of her phone on the table. Later that evening, my mother pulled me aside. "Arham, is everything all right?" She barely speaks. She doesn't smile. Did something happen? I forced a weak smile. She's just adjusting. It's new for both of us. Are you sure? My mother pressed, worry clouding her eyes. Yes. I lied. Give her time. Inside, bitterness clawed at me. I was protecting her reputation while she tore mine apart. That night I tried again. She sat by the window, scrolling endlessly. Aisha, I said softly, can we at least try? Not for love, not for dreams, just for peace. Her eyes flicked to me, cold. Peace doesn't come when you're chained. I haven't chained you, I said desperately. I've given you freedom. I've never stopped you from speaking, from going out, from anything. Why do you call this a cage? Because it is, she whispered. Every moment I stay here, I feel like I'm suffocating. Her words hollowed me out. And what about me? Do I not suffocate too? Do you think I enjoy begging for scraps of affection from my own wife? Her expression wavered, but she said nothing. I stood in front of her, voice breaking. Tell me, Aisha, was there ever a moment, just one, where you looked at me and thought, maybe I can love him? Her silence answered me more than words could. I laughed bitterly, though my chest ached. That's it then. I married a ghost. You're here in body, but your soul is somewhere else. She turned her face away. At least you finally understand. Walked out of the room, slamming the door behind me. My steps echoed through the empty hallway, louder than my own heartbeat. In my mind, I heard her voice again and again. I never wanted this. I was coerced. Each word carved deeper into me, until I wondered if I had any heart left to wound.